I'm Benish and I'm studying AIML in Ratnam Technical Campus. And this is what the video is for. I'm going to explain 5 tools to you, all of which I've used for some specific thing I was struggling with in the past 2 months. Now, let's get into it. The first tool is Trellis Point 2. Trellis is developed by Microsoft as a research project, and it's in Hugging Face. And let me walk you through the workflow real quick. What you do here is just drop an image of what you want your 3D model to be. What Trellis basically does is it gets an image prompt from you, and then when you hit generate after you give the necessary stuff, it generates the 3D model of the image you have actually given it. Now I'm going to hit generate, and while this is getting generated, let's talk a bit more about Trellis. And I know I can hear people say that there are more stuff than Trellis that actually does image to AI image to 3D model generation. I've tried Meshi.ai, I've tried Tripo AI, but none of them quite work like Trellis here. What makes Trellis unique is Meshi and Tripo and all those other image to 3D model AIs. What they do is they don't add texture to the end product they give you. It's always just a plain curved round model at the end that you're receiving. But what Trellis here actually uses is it uses this technology called O-voxel representation, which can handles all the above inaccuracies that I mentioned, and this is what my end product looks like here. And this is a really great 3D model that Trellis has done. Let's just we can get into 3D set view. It is on. I can have it textured and then I can move it around, you know, do it however I want it. I can dim down the texture a bit. I can do this, do that. It has all the sharp edges that was visible in my image. It has even given the backside, even though I've not given it there. And I can extract this as a GLB file, which will allow me to put this in Blender or Unity or Unreal or any other engine where you work 3D models with. And the GLB is extracted here with the specifications that I've entered. Now I can download this GLB file and I can work on this with any sort of engine that I want to work it with, Unity, Unreal, or Blender to make whatever you want to do. Yeah. The next website slash tool that we'll be looking at now is Studily.ai. This one is for the students, really anyone who has a lot to take, has to take a lot of information in a short amount of time. Let's say you're under prepared for your exam, which is tomorrow morning, and you have to prepare everything. You have 200-page PPTs. You have previous year question papers, previous exam question papers. You want to revise all that. Your teacher has said you'll get questions from the last year question paper. You have to get prepared. What do? You just don't sit around and go through the 200-page PDF. Actually, you don't do that. So here's how we solve that problem. So you got a lecture deck or a PDF of a textbook, or maybe even a YouTube video of the subject or topic you're looking into, and you need to actually know this material. What Studily does is it takes whatever you get, it takes the PDFs, the YouTube links, or the PPT slides that you have, and it builds a full study set from it. And when I say study set, I mean it has flashcards, multiple choice questions, written answer test, and even an AI tutor who can rectify your doubts regarding the topics that you will be actually studying. And the reason this works better than just reading your notes the night before is it handles progress tracking. It uses spaced repetition, so it's paying attention to which questions you're breezing through and which questions you're actually getting wrong. Now let me just showcase this project by uploading something. I'll upload my DBMS project file here, and let's see how Studily interprets this and how it gives me the material that I need to study. Alright, let's just click next and we'll be going through now. Now, once you've actually given the thing that you wanted to do, and it'll ask you how it wants you to teach it. So let's say I need notes about my topic. I need a podcast. A podcast, that option is a really good option there, and a multiple choice question session and a tutor lesson. Let me just generate it and let's see what it brings us. So once the file is actually uploaded here, we get what we asked for, and I'm getting the notes on what I told it to do. It's giving me everything that's in the document. It's given me everything. Now what I'm gonna ask is just explain to me the relations of the tables that are in the document, and let's see what it gives us. And now within seconds I'm getting a response on the question I've asked, and it's even giving me visual summaries and stuff. And now let's check out this multiple choice option they have here. So this works like a small quiz here. Now what problem does my thing try to solve? This, it's obviously wrong. Let's just do that, and we're using Postgres and explain correct answer. It even gives the explanation of what you did wrong here, so you can do better next time. And then the notes section, we have the notes of the stuff that I've given it, very very detailed, not in small batches and stuff. And now let's talk about this underrated feature, the podcast feature. you know it has made a 5-minute podcast with the content that I've given it. The content might maybe only have like 4 pages in my slides, and it has a 5-minute podcast which I can listen to and understand my content better. Let's say I'm in a rush. I'm rushing to my exam center. I'm eating breakfast in the morning of the exam, and I have to revise everything that I've studied. I just have to, go into StudyLy, just upload my thing, and then get a podcast, just listen through it all morning, go to the exam, and just crack it open.
So
Let's
I was
just listen
talking
to
to
it
some
now.
friends about how broken campus issue reporting is. Like, if the Wi Fi goes down in the library, everyone just posts in a what
that turns those messy so there's full accountability.
That's a lot of data. What does the database look like? I'm curious about the tables.
It's built on 4 core tables: users, issues.
As you can see, it's very detailed and it's not vague. They're not skimming over stuff, they're actually getting into what's inside my document and how everything is done there, and they're explaining it in their own voice. Yeah, now let's move on to the next tool. Okay, the next tool, the third one, is blueprint.am, and it's built by a company called 3E8 Robotics. And this one I genuinely think is one of the most interesting things I've found recently. So the thing is, this is an generative AI kind of thing where you describe a hardware project in plain English and it generates the full design for you. So a hardware project, it's not like an application where you build it on the web. It's like an actual physical hardware, electronic circuits, that kind of things you use your hands to build. So let me just type out a prompt right here. The prompt I've given here is, I want to build a Bluetooth enabled and monitor temperature monitor with a OLED display. Let's see what blueprint.am actually gives me. And you can have play this fun little game while you're waiting for your output too. It's just there for entertainment. Now let's just skip to our output. It's asking me what level of temperature, and it's asking me details about the stuff that I need. I'm just going to select random stuff so we can continue with this properly. And it has planned my architecture in less than 5 seconds. It has clarified what design choices it has to use. Now let's just skip to the part where we actually get the actual design. So this is the end result that I've got after giving my prompt. It's just a small thing. See, it has given me all this. So a portable Bluetooth enabled device monitors temperature and humidity via this and that sensors. Okay, now here let's just look into what it has. It has given me every part that I have to use to create this project, right? Let's say you're going on a hardware hackathon and you're completely new to hardware and you don't know where to buy stuff, and you want to you know make sure your project utilizes the correct components. Don't regret after you buy a wrong component or an underqualified component. This is the site you come to. It has everything. It has the hardware component you need, its price, and the place where it's available at. And they also given me a roadmap sort of thing, where it tells me how I should connect these things and how I should make sure they work as a unit. I think this is it. And it's still generating the 3D layout. We'll wait for that. And here we go, we have the 3D layout of the hardware project. Here everything is layered correctly everywhere, and you can clearly see which thing goes where. And when you're a new person building a hardware project, this is really important for you. And for the instructions, if you don't follow what's in this 3D model, you can always just come in here, look at the instructions, and it's very detailed. And it's saying 3D plinth enclosure, top and bottom components. So the structure, everything that it has given. Now think about this: if you're trying to build something like that, you would be spending hours through sheets, watching tutorials on YouTube, trying to figure out if these two components are even compatible with each other. Now the research time is just gone. It's just 2 minutes now. You describe what you want and it figures out what fits and what works and how it connects everything. So let's move on to the next tool. Now the next tool is Replit. Yes, it's an AI agent that builds you a complete deployed live application from a description that you give it in plain English. The agent writes all the code, sets up databases, it handles deployment infrastructure, handles you the live URL, all of it in one go. So let me give an example real quick of how you work with Replit here. You just have to sign in, and this is the initial UI that you'll get after you sign in. Now let me just give it a prompt and let's see the results in real time. So this is the prompt I'm going with, a website where students can give their reports, and at the end we look into it all as a single dashboard. So let me just run this and let's see what Replit comes up with. As you can see, it has started working on parallel. It has already got the link for the deployed site, and it's working on the site right now. Let's see what the end product is. Right now the application is actually done. I click start reporting and it just even lets me sign in here. Everything we've asked, let me just do this. It just asked me to sign in. Let me just sign in now, right? And everything works perfectly there. And let's just go inside here and we can do that. And yeah, everything is just perfect here. We have the signed in thing, we have the dashboard, we have all report section. Yeah, we can add a new report here. This is still a bit buggy as we haven't really specified stuff that we want here, specified to use the tech stack that I wanted to have. If you've done some research and actually genuinely put some effort into the prompt and want to create a better app, this would actually be the greatest option for you. Here we can also see the database here. It has the reports table, and when I go inside, it has my data and it's loading right now. And it has this really nice thing where you can look into everything. They have a default 8 reports added in to demonstrate stuff, and that's basically Replit. Let's move on to the next one. And the last one tool that I'll be demonstrating right now is Tide Studio. And there is something slightly biased about this one, because this video is actually being made using Tide Studio. I'm actually screen recording in my MacBook using Tide Studio. So when I finish recording this thing, the first thing I'll notice is, let me just show you that. I'm right here. This was a pre-recorded video. It's pretty small. It's like let's say 6 seconds long. Let's just play this video and see. It moves my cursor movements. It follows my cursor movements. It automatically zooms to where my cursor is, and it just goes on and on. A lot of features, I can say a lot of features on and on, just like this. It adjusts to the environment. It adjusts to how I'm operating the cursor. Let's say I'm just doing this, that it's doing we didn't have to do any external editing. It just did it. It looks like intentional editing, but it's not. It's just the AI features of this thing. And then we have got captions generated automatically, and we can go inside here. We can set in the caption style. So there is no audio in this video, so I don't really have to add any captions. But if I do want a caption, I can just put this in, and it's gonna appear there if I did speak something. And for the background, I can even make sure I have a different background in this. Look at that. That looks really cool, right? You have to actually go through multiple steps in other editors to do this. And I can even choose the cursor that I wanted to be here. Let me make the cursor a bit small, and then annotations. Now there is this thing, script. Let me just add have you ever thought? Let me just keep this as a script, and yeah, it's for clip 1. And so I'm just gonna keep this have you ever thought as in the script, and it's gonna be right here. Just a second. Now I've added this have you ever thought thing to the clip 1, and it has added an AI voiceover to it. Let's just listen to it.
Have you ever had the thought?
Look at that. That looks really, really perfect. I just have to do this for a longer format video, and it will be really, really perfect. And the caption style, I can just do this, all that. And one honest heads up of what this application is. It's only available for Mac and specifically for Apple Silicon. So if you're unwilling, that's 5 tools that we have discussed today. We saw Trellis for the image to 3D generation. We had Studily for daily studying and exercises. We had Blueprint.am for designing hardware projects without spending 3 hours on everything. Replit for going from an idea to a live deployed app in just 15 or so seconds. Not seconds, minutes. I'm sorry, 15 seconds, not possible at all. And Tide Studio for making screen recordings that don't look like screen recordings, basically professional YouTube videos and stuff. So if one of these saves you some time on something you've been stuck on, I'll be really glad. So thank you.